Ooh, am I on? Finally. Oh, I'll figure this out sometime. I don't do this enough. This is supposed to be the correct link. Anybody there? Ah, something moved. Oh, you see me. Yay. Oh my goodness. I'm sitting outside of a library right now. It's been raining all day. Oh, I guess the okay, I'm just not going to look right at you. We'll just do this, okay? It's always so awkward starting. Thankfully, I can go back and get rid of some of this. Yay! Travels with Tia the Terror. Hey, Melinda Youngheart. Hello. Uh, Susan. Oh, good, good. Okay, let's start. I'm going to stare at myself. I can't stare way up there. That's where the camera is. Okie dokie. All right, so get your questions ready, but let me talk for just a minute to tell you about my plans, and we can talk about meetups in general and all sorts of things. Some of you know that I started a Facebook page for women. And yeah, it's women only because there are a lot of women who feel safer. There may be a man in their life that they don't want to encounter. And I have someone in my life I don't want to encounter either. So that's why it is women only. I hope you understand it's a safety issue. We have had a lot of meetups in Florida, and I had really, really hoped to have some meetups on my way to Maine and on the way back. But I'll tell you the kind of places that I found, and you tell me if they would be good for you because I can use them. There are, for example, state campgrounds and even national forests, which is where we were having them all before in Florida, national forests. We have beautiful, wonderful sites for that. But up here, including even in Georgia and all the way up here, I didn't spend a lot of time researching, but I did look for national forests and state parks. And here's what I found. There are many of them where you can have 20 or 25 people. That would be just wonderful. But you can only have 8 cars. So everybody would have to tote all their stuff over, including a tent, and then sleep in the tent. They really don't want you sleeping in your vehicle. So, and also they only have one vault toilet. In other words, one outhouse. And it just doesn't seem like that's a good place for senior women to go. Another thing we can certainly do, and I will do this, is I will let you know what campsite I'm at only on the women's Facebook page. And I will, and then you can camp with me if you'd like to. Now that's just regular meetups. I'll talk about the rolling meetup in just a minute. And I'm so very happy to see meetups blossoming from the Facebook page. Where people are starting their own. Maybe it's people they've met at another meetup, brand new sister friends on the road. And I'm just really proud that that's happening. People are meeting each other and having their own meetups. It's perfect. And when I get back to Florida, I'll do the traditional type meetups at some really a couple of different places this time too, including the old favorites that we did last year in the fall. So let's still talk about other meetups first, and then we'll talk about the rolling meetup starting in the fall. Let's see if you have some questions on meetups. And while I'm waiting on questions, hey Kim, while I'm waiting on meetup questions, let me just tell you that a meetup, if you plan it and you say reserve the site first, as I did with the National Forest, if you reserve the site and you pay for it and then they pay you back, you can. It's a lot of administration, a lot, and it really puts you at risk for liability also. If you are paying for it and inviting people, you are taking the risk for that. So not that you shouldn't do it, but if I were you, don't say it's a butterfly tribe meetup, because then I don't want to be responsible for it. So the very best and most simple way for you to have a meetup is just let people know where you're going to be and let them get their own site. Um, that makes a great meetup, and then nobody's on the hook. It's just a bunch of friends getting together. Um, most sites are dog friendly. Um, yes, I'm not really good at live. I don't do enough of them. Maybe I should do more. I like to do them when I have really something to talk about, like we do today. Um, oh, Claude, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Dog friendly, yes, they are dog friendly. Most of the, hardly any of the places that I've looked at for meetups have any kind of hookup whatsoever, except for one. There was one we had in North Florida, and some of you will definitely remember that meetup. We called it the tick campsite because a lot of people had ticks. Beautiful campsite, really beautiful. I'm pretty sure it was on a lake. Had a few electric hookups. It had nice showers and bathrooms. Just a wonderful location. And it was a great meetup. But some of our guests were ticks. So I'm not sure I want to do that one again. Right, Kim? Dog friendly, yes. Let me try to keep up a little bit. Are there any meetups near Alabama soon? No, but you could start a meetup near Alabama. You just need to go to our Facebook page, and anybody that wants a link to the Facebook page, um, make a comment here. Well, I don't always see these comments for some reason, such as klutz on live chats. I can't always answer your comments after the fact, but maybe after this video is uploaded as a regular video, and if you go back and do a replay, you can request to join the Facebook page. Now we check as good as we can to make sure it's all women on that site, because we are giving dates and locations of where we're going to be. It's just a safety issue. So start your own meetup. You know, it could be a small meetup. Sometimes after most people leave and we're just a handful of people left, or when just a few people are there for whatever reason, some of those are the best camaraderie that you can have, is when it's a small meetup. Private land somewhere would be good, absolutely. And there is someone on our Facebook page offering that, and I'm still working on a video, maybe to get up tonight, definitely by tomorrow. And mosquitoes, yes. I'm working on a video, so I haven't really had a chance, between that and traveling and planning and that sort of thing, I haven't had a chance to look into that private land. Uh, okay, good, yeah. Have I found you? I'm not sure what you mean, Roxanne. Roxanne, are you the one that I did your van tour and haven't put it up yet? I'm a little behind on that. I'm getting like Bob Wells. He's way behind. It took him nearly a year to get my van tour up. Pam, spray your shoes, socks, clothes with permethrin, I think it is. It will keep the ticks off of you. Yeah, they seem to be kind of crawling everywhere. I wondered if they were dropping out of the trees. um, Yes, definitely. The Facebook page is a good place to announce it. I wouldn't announce a meetup on my channel because that's not private. You want to be able to control it just a little bit. Yeah, if you want to be a member, just wait till this video is completely uploaded, then you can make a comment, and I will send you a link to it, and then Linda and I will look into approving it. Linda's on here. She's a moderator. She's been a really great help for lives. She can't help me get on here, right? That's not, you kind of had to be there for that kind of thing. And I kind of wish I could use my computer, but I'm sitting in my car as usual. Better acoustics, and I'm sitting by a library where it's good internet, and my phone is plugged in, Kim, so this time hopefully it won't go dead like it has before. I still need to get that new phone. Okay, let me see if I can get some questions here. Oops, yep, it goes too fast. Yeah, I am going to look into doing this better, where I can slow down comments just a little bit. Um, I was on the wrong chat. Yeah, on the wrong chat. Great to see your smile on Chrysalis. Safety measures are important. Yes, they are. I'm very concerned about that. So many good ideas. Yes, hey Kim. I need a sidekick. Yes, Kim, go full time. I need you. Or Susan, we need to go full time. I need you. I put a couple of links on here about Route 1. I'll still take your questions on, um, I'll still take your questions on just meetups in general. Um, but I want to talk about Route 1. Route 1 was the very first north to south interstate. Now, don't think 4-lane divided highway with, with no lights. No, that's not Route 1. This is a challenge, Route 1. Um, it's going to be a big challenge. In fact, I'm not really sure anybody, except maybe some people who are full-time or who can really devote the time to this, are going to be able to do the whole entire 2,300 and I think 39 miles of Route 1. And there may be times, and there will be times, where I don't get on every single inch of it, although I'm going to try, just because it's a commitment. Um, uh, I'm going to probably have to veer off for places to stay at night. Not every place is going to be right on, literally on Route 1. I'm going to have to veer off for hopefully Cracker Barrels once I get down past, say, New Hampshire. Maine has one Cracker Barrel in Portland. New Hampshire, I believe it was, has one. Vermont has none. And then as we get further south on Route 1, there'll be more and more Cracker Barrels, and we can Cracker Barrel our way on down to Florida. One of the meetups, I think there were 6 or 8 of us, maybe more, at a Cracker Barrel the night before the meetup. So I'm sure that we went in and had a good time and ate some, and patronized the establishment, which is a good thing to do. And this so more of a rolling meetup. Yeah. Oh yes, definitely this is going to be a rolling meetup. In fact, my mom said something today when I was talking to her. She said, well, you don't have to go all the way to Key West. Well, I do that would be like climbing Mount Everest and then stopping halfway. Or it's one of those things like a challenge. An epic thing to do for me. It seems to be. It's like people who dream of going to Alaska, or they go coast to coast, or they Route 66 or the Pacific Coast Highway. This is the longest north-south route in America. And there is one point along the way where, if any of you are here with me at that point, Lubec, Maine, we could be there to be the first people in America to see the sunrise. Now, this is going to be a big thing of timing, because I don't want any extremes of temperature. So far, I've got long sleeves on. I've been wearing sweatshirts, and Coco's been wearing her sweatshirt at night. So it's been low 50s and maybe upper 60s most of the time, until today. It's over 70. I have the air on, so you may hear my hybrid kick on and off occasionally, because I do have the air conditioning on. So more about the rolling meetup. I would love and welcome for people to join me along the way. You don't have to go all the way up to the very top of Maine to Fort Kent, where there's this beautiful mile marker, and I'm going to have my picture taken with that, and then I'm having my picture taken with that buoy down there in Key West. I'll watch the sunrise in Fort Kent, Maine on the beginning of Route 1. I'm going to watch the sunset right there in Key West. So I'm going to try to find cheap and free places to stay along the way. Maine is the toughest one, um, but it's not impossible. Like I said, we may have to veer off for certain things. I may ask cities along the way to give us permission for some parking lot somewhere. That will be part of the planning that I'll do once I know how many people are going to be able to do it. But as I said, you're quite welcome to join me for a little bit of the trip, for every inch of the trip, or whatever you want to do. I think it's kind of a monumental thing to do, and it's going to be fun, a challenge for sure. And I know not many people are going to be able to do it, um, but I challenge you. I challenge you. It is possible. So I'm going to not just, and I mentioned the staying away from extremes of temperature. I'm thinking about October. I don't know an exact date right now. It's going to be fall colors pretty much all the way. I think Maine starts the fall colors a little bit earlier. But here's part of the challenge. I want to time it somehow. It's going to be watching the weather apps all the time. I don't want to be there in the first snow in Maine, and I guess that could happen at any time, judging from the temperatures I've experienced in June. Um, but I want to see the colors. I want to see the fall colors. But I don't want to get to Florida too fast either. I am not going to be there in September because September is hurricane month. And but I want to get to Florida when it starts to cool off a little bit. So you can see where there's a challenge there of not just finding a place to sleep, but the timing of it so I don't get to Florida too quick and make beautiful weather all the way along the way. Spending any time in the Northeast this fall. New England is so beautiful in the fall. Well, actually, yeah, I am spending time in New England all summer. I'll be in the whole New England area. It won't all be in Maine. I'll be traveling around to different places. Still hoping to have some meetups. It may be National Forest again. You may just have to get a campsite. But if you're a senior, at national forests or probably even national monuments, if those have campgrounds. What is it? The Corps of Engineers, national monuments, national forests, national parks. All of those you get a senior discount, and if they have camping, you can do that for half price. And some places allow 2 vehicles per site, so it's even cheaper than that. On our rolling meetup, Lee and I have paid as little as $5 to $7 for some places, and one of them was $7.50, and it had electric. That's pretty rare. There were only 5 sites too, and it was first come, first serve. So, okay, Claude's okay. Anyway, this is public. I should have said that right up front. That this is public. I didn't make it private. But so don't mention where you are exactly or where you're going to be. Any private information, we could save that for our Facebook page, or preferably really for Messenger on Facebook. And I have put my email address out there. It's even on my page on my YouTube page under About. So yes, it's okay if men are on this. Just watch what you say. We welcome them. We don't have anything against men in general. They're just a few women who are nervous about a few men. So, Cracker Barrel. Oh yes, we could. I kind of think of Cracker Barrel now as a verb. I'm going to Cracker Barrel my way to Florida. Love it, love it, love it. Leah and I have stayed at a bunch of them, and plan on staying on some more. Yes, we might do this again. It might be not, it may not. Well, we'll see how Route 1 goes if I do it again. I wonder what it'd be like starting in spring. No, it's much better if you start that trip in the fall. That way you get to see the fall colors all the way down. Oh, you're going to be in Lubeck the week after next. Well, email me, because I'll be around in the area. Maybe we can meet somewhere. My email address is already public for, it's not my private email, but butterflytracks@agol.com. If any of you want to meet up with me somewhere in the New England area, just email me and we'll see if we can put that together. Jump in at Jacksonville. Sure. Yeah. Anywhere along the line. And I'm really open to, stopping different places, or, if you like visiting certain things. But what we'll do is we'll share locations on Google Maps. That will help keep us safe. I will show you where I'm going, what I have planned for, say, a day or two. And plans are subject to change. I mean, butterflies, right? We don't have to stick to any one particular thing except for, hopefully, mostly Route 1. It's just beautiful. I can't tell you. It's so different. Someone on made a comment on one of my recent rolling meetup videos that, oh, he actually seemed to be angry. It's like, oh, the West is so much better than the Northeast. It was like he was angry about that. Well, yeah, it's lush and green, and the mountains aren't as high, and it's different. And but why would you get angry? It's just like if I said I love my Pacifica, you can just bet someone's going to come on there and say, oh, no, you can't get a Pacifica because Sienna or Caravan or whatever they've got is the best, and then they can't even think about anything else. Well, I don't see it that way. I want to see everything, everything. I want to see, you name it. I want to see it all. Every bit of the country I want to see. I'm not going to put any of it down. October is still hurricane season. Yes, yes. In fact, I would prefer to get to Florida in November. And even November, they can have a hurricane in November. I think they kind of did last year. Um, so it's all going to be a matter of timing. I'll slow down. I'll go backwards. I'll go sideways. I'll do whatever I have to do not to be around the hurricanes. Department of Forestry has lots of places to rent overnight. Yes, in fact, national forests are some of my favorite. Um, um, the Facebook page is Butterfly Tracks Women Who Camp. And so you can go there to apply, or you can leave a message later and I will. Yeah, two hurricanes last year in October, absolutely, but I don't plan, I'm going to leave Maine in October. I am not going to be in Florida in October. I plan on it taking, well, it could vary. It wouldn't take that long to get to Florida, really, but there's so much to see between here and there that you could take as long as you wanted to. I mean, it's kind of like, it's a whole lot bigger than Disney World. You can't see it all in one day. I don't know. You sure couldn't see it all in one month either. There's so many beautiful things along the way. So no, I'm leaving in October, but I don't want to be there before November, and even that is subject to change if the weather changes, right? Yeah, the more you find out about Route 1, the more intrigued you'll be. I've been on quite a bit of it here in Maine, and it's just beautiful. I mean, I've discovered a lot of new things. The only way I've tried to think of, and I'm a words person. I've written 2 books that are published, and I I just can't come up with a description of New England except, everything you've ever thought about, the pictures you've seen. If you haven't been here before, it's New England. Beautiful homes. Oh my gosh. I'm thinking as I'm going through these towns, is everybody here rich, way upper middle class, or just flat out wealthy? These homes. But then again, like Lee pointed out, it's a lot of them have turned into either apartments or bed and breakfast or inns of some sort. It's just amazing, huge, beautiful, so different from our little ranch houses in Florida. Okay. Oh yeah, hey Ramona, it's part of our rolling meetup. She's not on our meetup anymore. She had people to go see. I think she's home by now. But anyway, Ramona says, keep in mind it's a really slow drive. Much of it goes through small towns, lots of stoplights and stop signs. Enjoy because it gives a minute to look around and stuff. Yeah, last year was not all interstate, but quite a bit of interstate for me, my travels west. And yeah, you fly by. And if I didn't have my camera recording it as I went, you miss a lot. This is back roads. This is back roads all the way. It's not towns all the way, but you can count on there will be some of that. Kind of enjoyed the traffic in a small town that I won't mention yet because it wasn't that. I guess I could. Camden, Camden, Maine, because I am not there anymore. Far from there. But we drove through Camden, and it was just like bumper to bumper, but it was moving and it was, two lanes, one each way, and um, it was moving slow, but it really gave you a chance to look at all these adorable little shops along the way, like the cupcakery and the I'm just really beautiful little towns and the harbors and the lighthouses, and it's so different. FYI, for disabled vets, you can get a lifetime national park pass for free. Oh, good. With discounts for camping. Um, on Route 1, DC, I haven't. When I came up here to Maine, I started up 75. I went straight up. I went to New York, and then I went over. So it was like, I don't know. That's the wrong way. It wasn't. It was parallel to one, but it was not on one. So I really don't know that where exactly what things are on Route 1. If I want to visit DC to see a friend, is it on Route 1? I hate the heat. I mean 72 and above. I'm with you on that for sure. Um. Oh yeah. Uh, um. Yeah, I'm going to be avoiding heat. I am. I'll delay it. I'll go backwards. I'll go sideways. I'll go find a mountain. So, air conditioning shouldn't be required. Fans, yeah, but not air conditioning, hopefully. I will delay. You can go on, but I'm not going to be in extremes of weather. I'm not going to be in snow, and I'm not going to be in extreme heat. I want to be comfortable and enjoy I'm so spoiled. I am so spoiled. Has everyone hit the like button? Oh, thank you. Yes, if everybody would hit the like button, it would be nice. Hello. Hope to come find you for the trip back. Oh, good, Tracy. I hope so. Really won't be in Florida before the first part of November. Yeah, that's what I did last year. I didn't get back until November last year, and then we started having meetups. And because it was so frustrating not to be able to travel, I traveled around Florida some, but it was very frustrating not to be able to travel once I got to Florida because there was winter up north of me. Um, so meetups very much helped fill that. I want to have one a month. I love it. How do you join a meetup? I've messaged through Facebook and no reply. On the Butterfly Tracks, no, I mean Butterfly Tribe, Women Who Camp. I'm really surprised. Send it again because I read most all of them. I thought I might have missed it. Cracker Barrels are the best. Yes. Keep checking in until one is posted. Yeah, look for meetups or propose one yourself. And a lot of times, I don't always catch them, or I'm just kind of skipping over things. But I like to pin them to the top so that people will see them. And if you keep, you can post your meetup again, do an update. Okay, that's another subject we should talk about as far as meetups go. I started the group pretty much for meetups. because people would ask about it on the Facebook, I mean on the YouTube comments, and you really can't have a conversation on YouTube comments. So I started the Facebook page for people to find and start meetups, and caravans. Um, I'm kind of forgetting where I went with that. Senior moment. Um, oh yes, now I remember. Um, a lot of Facebook pages have an events tab, so you can click on it and see what's coming up. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. However, I couldn't figure out how to stop it from saying I'm going or I'm not going, because believe me, you can't count on that. If 20 people say they're coming, 20 different people may come, or nobody, or maybe 50 people show up. It is not reliable. So I kind of took that off of there. I could probably be convinced to put it back, but I won't do it from my meetups, because when I do a meetup at, like I had did in the past, I pay for and reserve the whole campsite, and then I pray that somebody will show up. I build it and hope they'll come, and so that I'll get reimbursed for having put that up front. Um, but I wouldn't do that and then rely on who's coming and who's not coming. That's why we didn't do that. I could put it back up for others if enough people really request it through the Facebook page. Yeah, travels with Tia the Terror. That's a mouthful. Um, I don't know if I've checked my email today. Yeah, try emailing me again at butterflytracks at AOL.com. And I think I usually see them. How far south? Oh yes, I plan on going all the way. Route 1 ends at Key West. I mean, it probably ends at that little marker that's in at the very bottom of Key West there. If any of you've been there, it looks like a buoy, I think it was. But that's what I plan on doing. Nope, not stopping it. It's like the top of the mountain. I'm gonna, or the moon. Almost might as well be the moon. I'm planting the flag there, virtually. Uh, it's the West Coast is best coast vibe. Yeah, I love the West Coast. I absolutely loved it. It has a lot of advantages, but you know, variety. You know, I don't want to look. If I didn't want variety, I'd be in a house looking at the same picture window every day. My picture window changes whenever I decide it will, and I get $1 million views and don't pay rent for it. Um, yeah, van life. I know I'm way behind. Let me catch up. Yes, Hurricane Nicole was in November. Yes, I'll be watching for that. I will be watching for that. I mean, I can evacuate in a second. I just turn the wheel, and I'm all packed. Cousins in the Northeast into New Jersey. Horseflies? I haven't seen a single horsefly. I heard somebody, was it black flies or something? I haven't had any bugs. I'm sure they're out there, but I haven't had any problems with any of them. Oh yes, I'm absolutely planning a meetup in December, and whenever I get there in November too, I'm going to plan a meetup. Absolutely. At the usual locations. Never been to New England? Oh, you should. It's so pretty. Oh, hey Kim. Yes, we all love Ramona. In fact, I've got a whole video of Ramona wisdoms. She's yes. I have a video that still will come out about her. I talked to Kim about one van tour that I have yet to do. I was having so much fun talking to Diane while I was doing her van tour. And we just, I, I have almost 2 hours of video to edit. And if any of you have ever edited video, you know how long it takes to edit just a few minutes of video. So Kim and I talked, and I might just string it all together and run it up. Maybe try to cut hour and 50 minutes down to an hour. That's a tough one, and it's such a good one. She's got so many good ideas, so that's a tough one. Oh, and I'm going to be doing a tour of my van. You can't look right now. Don't look. Because I think I have for a no build, I think for a no build, I have the optimum storage now. The most that you can have in a minivan. And I'll have to tell you the details later. I went for pretty the first time around, and I think it was pretty. Even my second no build made for more room and better storage, and it was still pretty. This one isn't homely, but I went for efficiency instead of beauty for a change. That's a big change for me. So I'll do that one down the road sometime. Uh, yes, enjoyed slow traffic on the interstates on the curvy mountain parts because it gave me a chance to breathe and look around. Yes, absolutely. You can put music on or not, or just enjoy. I don't really drive with music that often. Shopping while traveling with a dog. Good question. I had actually reserved a room inside the library that I'm sitting at. They closed at 5, so I reserved it at 3:30. That's why the time is different. And then it's been warmer today than it has been, and Coco here, who is sleeping, I'm not going to leave her in the car, so I'm sitting here in the car with my air conditioning. That's another reason why you often see me filming in the car. You go early. That's the question. That's the answer to having a dog with you. Be the first one there when the doors open. And except for sometimes in Florida, well, I mean, if you're there, the first one there, at least in Florida, there's a chance that you might find a tree to park under. I have a hybrid, so I can leave it on. It doesn't stay on too long. I give myself a timer so I don't accidentally stay in a store too long. I'll split up my shopping. I might get certain things in Walmart, something else in a different store, like a dollar store. Or just come back out and check on her. So that's what you do. The key to having a dog with you and shopping is go early. Be the first one. Now clothes, that's a different story. Takes a long time. I just ordered 2 more of these shirts and I have 3 of them. It's UV, it's lightweight, it's even cool to the touch. It covers my arms when I'm driving. I call them my driving shirts. So you'll see me in shirts just like this because I can't go in and shop for clothes. That's okay. I don't really care about clothes now. Used to wear very professional, expensive suits to work, and I don't care now. But you know what you can do too with a dog, you can schedule grooming for them. They'll have them for a couple of hours and go shop to your heart's content. How do you find places year-round and at mild temperatures? Well, you use your weather app, of course, and if I see a really bad storm coming, in fact, I started my trip last year. I went earlier than I thought I was going to go because an ice storm was dipping down toward Florida, diagonally across the U.S., and someone told me that I should just zip across 10 to go west, so I did. I changed my plans due to weather, and like I said earlier, if I see bad weather north or south of me, I may go west. I will do whatever I need to really avoid bad weather, or worst come to worst, Motel 6, last resort, but it's doable. The meetups won't be in the event section of Facebook. No, not my meetups won't. No, I require communication. But if you want to have a meetup, and let me know, and I will put that meetup tab back up. I'll figure that out. And if that's the way you want to do it, we can certainly do that. Put your events on the Facebook page. Just let me know. Seriously allergic to horseflies. Oh yeah, I didn't see any. I would have definitely noticed. Oh, good. Yeah, yeah. Glad you didn't see any. I know I'm way behind. It might help if I put my glasses up farther, right? I could see better. I like the way you did the March meetup. Once you send the money to you, your space is confirmed. That's the only way I can do it, since I pay for it up front. I got to get the money up front too. Um, and that's what is your registration for a meetup, is go ahead and send the money. Um, but I might have smaller meetups. I don't know. There's one place I want to really have, and I did a video about it. All Creatures. It was about Itchitucknee Springs Campground, not state park, campground, privately owned. And I interviewed the owners because I thought they were the neatest part about the place, along with all the animals that they had. But I want to have a meetup there in the fall, because they are supposed to be building all new bathroom facilities, showers and everything, because what they had really wasn't that great. Um, but it's just kind of a unique old Florida place, and I'd love to have a meetup there. And I even talked to them about it, and we probably could arrange something there. And in that Georgia meetup that we had, that was a wonderful location too. We could do that again. Everybody seemed to like that a lot. Oh, thank you. Who was that? Becky G. Oh gosh, I wish I had better eyes, or they had a different way of showing this on here so I could see it easier. Thank you for that suggestion for everybody. Never expired. Diane, this old gal never. Oh, thank you. Old gal never on YouTube. She is a hoot, and I want to get her van tour up. I'll just have to figure out how to edit all that, and it's just wonderful footage. Oh yeah, I think Kim suggested I should do it in part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, a whole season of Diane. That would be good. She has so many good ideas. Old gal never on YouTube, and out on a limb with Kim, KYM. Still trying to get Ramona to do it. Ramona's Wisdoms. Yeah, that's what we'll call your channel, Ramona. Stay far away from Texas right now. It's hot as Hades. Yeah, I bet it is. Well, I'm sure Florida is too, with humidity and all. And that's been, we've had some rainy days and some foggy days and all, and this kind of reminds me, it's oddly enough, well, not that odd, it's the same kind of latitude, probably similar. It reminds me of Washington and what's that state near it? Somebody help. Anyway, it reminds me of the Northwest. Uh, Hi, Maria. I know I'm going to miss some of these because I'm talking. Efficiency. Oh, see how far behind I am. Oh, I'm way behind. I'm still trying. Keep talking. Talk amongst yourself. I'll catch up. Hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, yeah, Ramona's the dog walker. She's a professional. Well, not professional. She doesn't get paid. She's a volunteer dog walker. Functional, not fashionable, right? Um, Hi, Maria. I'm doing good. Function and pretty. I go for that. I do. But seeing how I'm full time, I finally figured out, in order to keep things neat and organized, I have to have quite a bit of storage to get things where they ought to be, and which means functional. I made some good changes. I'm looking forward to showing you. Yeah, it's a tug. That was beautiful, really, really beautiful. And once I get that shower situation figured out, we'll work on that. Hi, Kathy. Kathy, you need to catch up with me somehow. We need to get together for a meetup. Jojo, hey, Kathy, we need to all get together. Everybody on here. Oh, only the girls. Sorry. uh, Change my minivan setup since you filmed the tour. Oh, well, you know, we do need to. That's one of the ones that I need to do. CC Camper later, Cheryl. We need to do yours. There are parts of it I kind of need to redo. The lighting was just all off, and even the sound wasn't that great. So you and I need to get together on the way back, and I want to do your band tour right. Yeah, Jojo. I'm in line, Jojo. Don't forget, I'm in line. Some of you know what I mean. Uh, uh, well, Kim, that's Kim's. Sorry, I'm overly excited today. Well, that's something Kim and I have in common. We have this little condition, and we have said that someday we're going to do a live together where both of us are on there. Go live together, it's called on YouTube, and we need to talk about our condition. I think people would relate. A lot of people would relate to it or think it's kind of amusing. um, Amen on the clothes. No more for me. Dressy, I mean. Right, right. Well, I am so far behind. I'm so sorry. I'm working on it. A lot of rain in Central Florida. Hey, Jojo. Missouri is hot and humid now. Pretty much the whole U.S. except for Maine is volunteering to do the editing and monitoring. Yes. Well, Ramona, we can work on that to get Ramona's channel going. I'm coming. New York on Tuesday. Yep. Florida doesn't as hot as Texas, so I don't know. You can debate the hot, but hot's hot, right? Gulf breezes. Yeah, some places along the water it helps. Some places it just makes more humidity. Yes, Jojo, we're going to be having a little meetup soon too, aren't we? Part of the ADHD club. Yep, that's it. We are indeed. If you couldn't tell, we really need to do a series on that probably, Kim. Uh, in fact, we could have Ramona on as an expert on ADHD, and Ramona could monitor us or help us out. I'm sure she understands that she worked with disabled people. And I don't mean to make light of it because ADHD, like many other conditions, has different levels. Kim and I are high functioning, I think it's called. We get by, but it does affect you. Um, that would be a fun talk for the two of us anyway. Um, Dunn's Creek? Joy wants us to meet at Dunn's Creek. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. A member of the Squirrel Club myself. I get it. I do. I know squirrel. That's part of my problem with getting these live. You know, if I after I did it for a while, if I did it more often, I would get it. Member of the Squirrel Club. I love it. Yeah, you know, I wish I had a little more of the H part of the ADHD, a little more of the hyperactivity, just the ADD. Yeah, so many are part of the ADD or ADHD club. I did a live, well, it wasn't a van, I call them all van tours. I did a live tour of an overlander, a truck with Paige. It was live. And before we got started, it might even be on the video, she said something about she had something about her ADHD, and I said, oh yeah, I've just figured out that I've got that too. And she said, well, of course you do, that's why we're here. I don't know if there's anything to do with that. It's not a requirement. You don't have to have ADHD for van life. Yes, Kim has all the H for both of us. It's good to have you around with your energy, Kim. I love it. Dunn Creek has water now and putting in bathrooms. Well, see, I wasn't familiar with it before. November would be great to meet there on the water. Yeah, it should, Susan, let me know more about that, and maybe we can plan that. Um, Gina's Joyful Journey. Kim's helped you. I need to know more about that. You could put a link here if you want. Anybody with a YouTube channel, you're welcome to put a link here, right here. Um, I don't know why. Maybe somebody who knows could tell me why um, the live chat that we're doing right now. I've seen it come up in the replays for other channels, and I looked at all the different things to set this up, but I'm not sure this will show up. So if you want to put your channel, you can put it on now, or you can put your channel link on after this goes into replay, which takes a little while. I like helping people with their YouTube channel. Slow Jan, speed it up. Recently did a good video podcast about women with ADHD. Mel Robbins. I hope I can go back and see this because I need more information. I didn't discover it till later in life. It's been in this past year that I discovered that I have ADHD. And then it's like, well, of course, that explains a lot. In fact, my whole family, they're in the medical field in one way or another. A lot of them are. They're very knowledgeable. And somehow when I said that I have ADHD, not one of them said, "Oh, Jan, no, you don't." Or, they knew. They knew. Why didn't anybody tell me? It would have helped me understand myself a whole lot. I think a lot of us who enjoy this lifestyle do have a little. Well, it comes and goes. It's got little bits. uh, yeah, Ramona, you need to moderate that live with Kim and I. Help us get through that one on ADHD. What state is Dunn Creek? Is that in Florida? Showers, yeah, those help. Dunn Creek's in Florida. Okay, I'm way behind. I'm coming. uh, Good. Yes, do. Yeah, I don't know what was deleted, but thank you so much, Linda. You seem balanced and well-rounded. Well, I went through some strange things growing up. I mean, you may, if you watch my channel, you know that we moved around a lot, every couple of years, and it's very good for you to be more adaptable to any situation. I think that's what's helped me in the lifestyle of van life. Um, and so you can adapt to a lot of things. You can learn to meet people. You can also be a different person in every town you're in. I mean, last time I was shy. This time I'm going to be more outgoing. And I don't know if that makes for split personalities. I don't think so. I just think it makes you more well adjusted. At least I think it helped me moving around a lot. But I did go through a very, very shy time, which might be hard for some people to understand. I really couldn't leave the house kind of shy. Really couldn't leave the house kind of shy. Unless someone that I knew was with me. And then I couldn't introduce myself. I'd forget my own name. So I guess those were panic attacks, right? But I process things. I have to read about it and think about it. I do a lot of research and study. And so I thought myself out of it. I thought my way out, processed it. Found tubs for nomads. Nobody wanted flagstaff. I'm not sure, Roxanne, what that was. I'm reading, I'm coming. Been dancing lately. I would love to. I need a very flat and smooth surface to belly dance, or to dance of any kind, really. To me, it's kind of like when I water skied. I did a lot of water skiing, slalom, and it's kind of like a glass smooth lake. It's very tempting to go out there and slalom ski on a glass. Must be like snow skiing, I imagine, since I don't know anything about it. That softer snow. But so a really smooth dance floor is just really tempting, like a glassy lake. Yeah, definitely would do it with that. But on any surface where your feet can't move, it doesn't work for me. You know, if your feet can't slide. Um, you know who I am on this Facebook page. I'm not sure. I've seen Gina's Joyful Journey before. I don't know. Is it a different name on Facebook? Oh, you're stuck. Yeah, I was stuck for a while too. I understand if you mean not being able to get out. More stuff than I've been around a group of women. Yes, isn't that so true, Kim? You can really be yourself. Um, Regina, April was your first meetup. Did we do a van tour? If not, we need to do a van tour. Yes, 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 yes. It's something about it. I mean, you go to a meetup and instantly it's more than camaraderie. I don't even know a word for a sisterhood. It's a sisterhood. I mean, you instantly feel comfortable. Although some sisters don't get along, I've always gotten along absolutely perfectly with my sister, except probably when we were little because I had ADHD. uh, Yeah, you don't have to shave. We could have a no bra zone at sometimes, and yeah, everybody can just talk and be comfortable and let your hair down. Age limit for women? No, no age limit. No, 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 no. Women of any age. It tends to be more senior women, and I guess you'd have to say that's because a lot of times they're retired. But that's not a requirement at all. Not at all. We do have some younger women that are members of the group, and we've had some that have been to meetups, and I would hope nobody would ever think that there was anything like an age limit, kind of a gender limit. We talked about that. Getting my conversion kit. Oh, Diane, this a conversion kit? Oh, I was really tempted when I saw some of those conversion kits for minivans. But I am not poking holes in this brand new. Well, I bought it before it even came off of the truck from the manufacturer. I ordered it because it was going to be one of the last ones in Florida, and I'm not poking holes in this very expensive thing. Not sticking anything into the little. No, I'm not poking anything into that right there. Nope. See that? Not poking nothing there. Nope, nope. No holes drilled. This is a totally no build. I didn't. I, I haven't. Ooh, I shouldn't say that. I haven't had my first scratch yet, so I always park very carefully. Conversion kit, very, very tempting. I don't think you have to poke holes with a conversion kit, and yet it's like a build, if I remember right. I did a van tour of a woman's minivan that had a something leaf. But anyway, she was from Canada, but you could buy it anywhere. I think they made it in Canada. It looks just like a build, but it just slips in and attaches to the rings in the floor. Very tempting, very tempting. Old gal, never off subject, but what bed mattress you use? Any recommendations? 6-inch single mattress? Very good question, because I just bought a new mattress. I started out with a 6-inch trifle mattress, which I really loved. It was wonderful. Um, but over time, a trifold where it bends the joint there, which is just fabric, it will get looser and kind of twisted, and then it will start to shift and slide around. You got 3 pieces moving around. I got kind of tired of that. As comfortable as it was when it would stay still, I tried bungeeing it down, in the joints, which helped, but that no. Over time, at first, great. So then I tried to cut some foam to to fit when I did the bed sideways, and that was okay, but the foam was too soft. It was so soft that you sink way down into it, and then you have to kind of climb up to turn over, and that slid around, and that was annoying. I liked it across the back, and it was comfortable, but you know, and that's my preferred way to sleep is like in a recliner position. But every once in a while, you do kind of like to stretch out. So now I have it a different way, and I'll show you. Oh, I didn't. Sorry, ADD squirrel. Oh gal, never. I didn't tell you what I did end up with. I was looking for the narrow twin, which is the same length as a twin bed mattress, but it's narrower. And those can be more expensive than just a twin. Most places, or at least the mattress stores, will charge you a little bit extra because it's a special order for the narrow twin, whereas they have twins all the time. Um, and so I was, looking all over. Do I pick it up from an Amazon location or a UPS store, or where do I even get one? And then I thought, oh, Joanne Fabrics has foam. And lo and behold, they have one that's 25 by 72. I'm pretty sure that was the measurement. And it's what I got was 5 inch. 6 inch sounds better than five, but I can't tell any difference. In fact, I kind of like this better. It's just, I mean, it's soft. You don't get any pressure points, let me say, but you don't sink down in it so far that you can't turn over. And another thing is I got, that shelf liner that's kind of nubby, that things don't slide on. It comes in a roll, but it's rubbery, not just like contact paper. I put that under the bed, and with the mattress, with the foam directly on it, it doesn't move. That's the greatest thing. The greatest thing. Um, yes, Diane has a great build. Well, Diane, your man I'm talking about. Silly me. Um, yes, Diane. What were we supposed to wait? Were we supposed to be wearing bras? Optional, optional. Uh, I'm also a vet. Oh, it'll be good to have around if we have any problems. Oh, I'm sorry. You mean a veteran? Silly me. I'm sorry. Thank you for your service. This is proof no one is talking about meetups anymore. We don't have to. We can talk about anything and everything. Absolutely. My living room is full of boxes right now. I have everything I need to start van life, except a van. I remember those days. I remember my Amazon account. You can make lists in there, and I had a list for food and a list for electronics, and I had all kinds of lists in there that things that I hadn't bought yet. And then I started buying it all at once, and it was crazy. Yep, a lot of boxes. Yeah, you won't see me in September, not in Florida. I love Florida, not in summer. uh, Riverleaf, that sounds familiar. Mm. Oh, I thought they made it for the minivan kits in a lot of different um, minivans. I don't know. I think they had one for Pacifica. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so nice too. Gina's Joyful Journey. Someone gave her a reservation to the meetup in April, and now she's going on the road with others. I love to see that, people branching off and finding all new friends. That's what it's all about. Lonely. Who's lonely in van life? You don't have to be. Escort 2014. I had an Escort. In fact, that was the vehicle I had before I had this one. It was a 2015. No, it wasn't Escort. It was an Escape. Anyway, it was a Ford too. Not a big RV. I mean SUV at all. Interview, had a conversion kit. Yeah. Yeah, out of Quebec, right. Yes, it was pretty pricey. And yeah, and you can't change it around much. It's pretty much built as a build. I kind of like that about a no build, that you can move things around, especially if you're full time, but even if you're not. Ask Heather's Hikes and Adventures. She changes hers around all the time. That's a YouTube channel, right, Kim? 2008 Xterra. I'm not as familiar with that one. I'm pretty sure that's an SUV. Yeah, it took me a while to figure out Joanne's. I was trying to get one. I wanted to do my build, and I didn't want to wait for one to be mailed to me and or shipped, and nobody had what I wanted. So that's an option. Yes. So yeah, Ramona was there when I started my new little conversion here. Let me get a dry talking. An off-brand of ice. Trifold from Amazon. Yep, trifold from Amazon was great. I recommend the 6-inch of that one if you're still looking. Yeah, yeah. Try to update everything you can before you take off on a long trip, especially if you're full-time or if you're about to retire. Get all your medical and dental things taken care of. Get up to date on your prescriptions if you have them. Get things for your health that you are used to using. Have first aid kits and all that kind of thing. Pay off whatever you can. That would be a good thing to do. Um, Prepare as much as you can for a long trip. Yep, yellow shoes. What thoughts helped me decide on my current van? Um, Comfort. And I know everybody will argue. I know you love your van. That's okay. You love your van. I love my van. That's no problem with that. Um, it's a matter of priorities to people, why they like one over another one. I wanted good gas mileage, and I have a plug-in hybrid. Um, I don't know if I average 40, but I frequently get 40, and a plug-in hybrid is harder than a hybrid to figure out the mileage, and is much harder than a combustion engine to figure out what the mileage is. But they do have it shows up on my screen what my mileage is, so I see 40 miles per gallon a lot. I like that. I like that when I'm plugged in at a campground and I can run the air conditioning and the motor hardly ever comes on. In fact, the air conditioning's running now on it, and the car's running on electric. But in a minute it may start up, and Pacificas have a V6 engine, so it's, you know, it sounds substantial. And I'm no trouble getting up hills. It's got pickup you wouldn't believe, because it not only has the V6 engine, but it also can, I've seen it, because it has a gauge for that too. I've seen it kick in with electric going when it needs it to go quick. Um, Safety features, standard Pacificas have more standard safety features than any other car on the road. That's a fact. I mean, I added a lot more on top of that with this one, but it has a lot of safety features. Um, it will park itself both parallel or diagonal. It'll do that on its own. I mean, I'm not going to talk about all the different things it does, because it's a bunch, right, Ramona? How far behind am I? Way behind, right? Heather's Hikes and Adventures, yes. Kim, if you want to put her link in here, you can do that too. To make it more permanent, anybody that wants to put a link to your YouTube site should put it on after this goes into replay, just to make sure that it's there for anybody else later who wants to see it. Um, yeah, Ramona doesn't have any trouble meeting people, do you, Ramona? she's she's never gonna be lonely. Oh, God, never. Was it difficult to find boondocking as you guys went north? I do a limited amount of what most people think of as boondocking. Um, Most people think of that as going off in the woods, way off by yourself. That's the way I think of boondocking. Although, some people consider Walmart or Cracker Barrel boondocking too. If that's the case, I do that. Um, I'm just not as likely to do that. I've paid for cheap campgrounds when I can get half price. Yes, Ramona, it drives like a luxury car. Um, Definitely the ride and the way it feels is just a pleasure. Planning a meetup in Maine. Well, anybody who wants to meet up with me in Maine, we will find a place. But I can't do my traditional types of meetups in Maine where I pay for a campsite because, like I said, the literally called group campsites, um, you can only have like 8 cars, and and even if you had 8 cars, 8 campers, you're not supposed to sleep in them. You got to set up tents. You got to carry the stuff over to where the tent sites are, and it only has one pit toilet, so it doesn't seem very good. Although I'll meet you at a Cracker Barrel. There's only one in Maine. But if you want to have a meetup for a couple of nights at a Cracker Barrel, they'd probably think that was fine. Let's see. I would rather a cooling seat, but would like the heated steering wheel. Yeah, the Pacifica Limited has, and a lot of other cars too, I'm sure, have, I can have air conditioning or heat come through the seat. However, the very first thing I did when I got this, first 2 things I did when I got my brand new Pacifica, I put on a leather seat cover. This is not the original seat cover. That's leather, and I'm hoping that it looks kind of pristine underneath that thing. And I tinted the windows. I always did that on cars anyway. It seems like a privacy thing to me. Plus, I'm kind of light sensitive, so I really like that. I have ceramic tint on the front windshield, and I have darker tint on the front windows, side windows. And the ones in the back were already pretty much limo, so I didn't need it there. Would you rather a coolie seat? Hello, Switzerland. Does anybody have any other? I know I probably missed some things. If I missed your question or a comment, if you'd like to put it in all caps, I'll probably see it. um, Anybody have any questions? Anybody thinking? Let me do a little survey here. Anybody thinking of doing the Route 1? I would almost say doing the 1, but that has other implications to it. Doing the 1. People do Route 66, but I don't think we need to say doing the 1. Hard to transition from the hybrid to from regular gas. Oh no, it's super easy. You just don't have to stop at gas stations as often. What's really neat about them is that if you just let off the gas or you put on the brakes or you're going downhill, it's charged that energy, the momentum, I guess it is, the weight and the momentum. There's some scientific thing about that, but it's charging the batteries. So I can come down from coming down mountains. I can end up at the bottom of the mountain with more energy. Um, you know, um, all cars use more gas going up a hill, obviously, but other cars that are not hybrids don't give you back energy as you're going down a hill. I love that part. I love a hybrid. I guess it may have some downsides, but I haven't found them. I'll do Route 1 in Florida. Good. I hope we really have a great group of people going, at least Florida. Take a pretty brave soul to go all the way with me. It would make a very brave soul to go that far. It's going to be a mountain climbing. But I challenge you. Let me know. If you just come for one day or meet us at a restaurant somewhere along the way, probably a Cracker Barrel, that would be fine too. You're in for the whole thing, Marcia? Would you really do start up in Fort Kent in Maine? 2,390 miles. Did you know that Maine, just Maine alone, has more miles of coast than California? That was kind of a surprise to me. Jumping in at only issue is where to stay the night because they're very strict down in the Keys. Yeah, the Keys, that's another kind of almost like Maine. There may be places where we have to pay for campgrounds. If I have a group of, I don't know, 5 or more, we'll see if we can get a group discount at some campground, or we'll see if we can do 2 to a site. There are a lot of variables here, and some of them may be paying for overnight in certain places. My plan is Cracker Barrels. I have stayed at more Walmarts than I ever had before. That just wasn't really on my list, but I do look at the apps and look at the reviews to see whether it's safe. And I get the knock, okay, I'm going, whatever. Might be able to stop by in New England. Oh, that would be good. I'd love to have some people join me way up here, even if you don't go all the way. I never have guessed that about Maine coast. I know, and it may be because it's like this. The shortest distance between two points is a straight line. So this is not a straight line. It's a longer distance because of the, what would you call it? There's another senior moment. A coast that goes like this. New England, yes. Stuart, Florida. Oh, good. Yeah, all along the way, I'm hoping on our Facebook page that people are following along, or even on the YouTube channel, are following along the videos as we go. Not just mine, but any other YouTuber that's along the way will all make videos. And I don't think we can hook them together in any way, but we can promote each other. And people can follow along and make suggestions and or join us, and we will not be telling them where we are or where we're going, but we can show them where we've been, and they can guess from there what our next locations could be. Georgia, yes. Georgia's beautiful too. We did have national forests there in Georgia that we stayed at, two per site, plus half off to begin with, so you're going to pay a fourth of what everybody else is paying. Yeah, I kind of wished that it crossed my mind before going north excuse me, I got the hiccups, I just drank that. Fizzy stuff. Anyway, I had thought about getting my passport. I had one when I was a kid when my parents were traveling, but I hear it takes a while to get it. Corps of Engineers, yes, I've heard a lot about how great they are. We can certainly look for those. Will I be driving it every day? Stay more than one night at a place? Oh yeah, I don't want to I want this trip to take a while. I'm not just on a mission to get to Florida. I really want to stop and see things along the way, enjoy things. I haven't really gone to a lot of local events, but I think in the fall, when the fall colors are out, I think there are a lot of like festivals and and various local events that we could go to too. And I do not want to just drive straight through. I think it only takes 20 hours. I'm hoping to take, weeks, and I don't know how long. Weeks. Whatever the weather app um, determines that we're going to do, that's what we're going to do. Hi, Catherine. Yes, you're on the live now. So glad you're here. I know I've missed some. All caps if I missed you. 8 weeks. 8 weeks to get a passport. Yeah. Maybe next time. I on my timeline on Google Maps timeline. If you haven't got that set up, look into that on Google Maps. My timeline is just beautiful. I think it's beautiful. It shows my whole trip last year all the way up the coast, and then I don't know if this is backwards for you. I guess it would be. So I'm gonna try to do it backwards. That won't work for me. Um, but all these red places that I've stopped all along, all the way up to Washington State and Oregon, and then kind of diagonal on the way back. So I missed a bunch up in in the Great Lakes area, Michigan, Wisconsin. I had lived in South Dakota, and I have been to North Dakota. I think I've been to all states except Alaska, including Hawaii, in my travels as a kid, as an Air Force brat. So I have a little bit to fill in up there. I kind of rushed past Utah last year because I was in a hurry to get back to Florida. But I want to fill in the blanks there. There's a lot to learn about YouTube. I'm not YouTube. Google Maps. That's really helpful. What do people do if they break a body part that holds them up and they are having a hard time getting in and out of the vehicle when they don't have any family to stay with? Um, any kind of health problem is a problem wherever you are. If you're living alone in a home or whatever it is. It helps to have people around to help. But it doesn't have to be just a broken bone, any kind of health issue. In my very first video on this channel, I talked about that's what I was afraid of, my body breaking down. I'm 72. And that I'm not afraid of people. I'm not afraid of just going. I love the idea of just going, the freedom of it all. But the only thing I was worried about was my body breaking down, and that's real. I mean, if you're 20, your body can break down. So, don't think just because you're age that will necessarily happen. Take care of as much as you can before you go on a trip. Take what you need. But, there are emergency rooms and hospitals and agencies and people to help. I hope you have insurance. That certainly helps. Yeah, you didn't used to have a passport to go to Niagara, to the Canadian side. I know I went as a kid, but that's a little while ago. As I just said, it's a little while ago. Uh, what did people? Oh yeah, I just said that. My passport was just a renewal. Yeah, if you've already got one and didn't have it lapse, I'm sure the one that I had when I was 10 years old, I couldn't just renew it. I wouldn't even know where to start, but I guess it's easy to Google. Oh, it's no problem. Um, Badlands. Now, which Badlands? Are you talking about South Dakota Badlands? Oh, I'm very familiar with the South Dakota Badlands. I lived there in Rapid City, South Dakota for 6.5 years, and our big entertainment was driving around and seeing everything we could see. So I'm very familiar. Of course, I don't know if 40 years or so makes a big difference in the Badlands. um, I'm getting stronger if you're referring to me. I absolutely am stronger than I've ever been in my life. Mentally, maybe not physically, mentally, for sure. That's where friends comes in. Yeah. Yeah, you needed to, you know, yeah, South Dakota. Yeah, I love that state. I wouldn't mind. I even have a friend or two there, and I would love to go back. That's probably next year. Depend on your friends. That's why these groups are so great. You know, everybody on that Facebook page, everybody's rooting for everybody else, and they would help them if they could. And, you know, they make lifelong friends. I'm not a van lifer yet, but I fractured my humerus bone, and it's not funny, your humerus bone, right there. That's why they call that the funny bone. It's your humerus right there on your elbow. Um, yeah, yeah, I was injured in a car accident in 1991, January the 9th of 1991, driving my fully restored, drop-dead gorgeous, showstopper 64 and a half Mustang, and was rear-ended by, of all things, a Brinks armored truck. And no, they did not open the back and give me all the money in it. But I was somewhat disabled for almost 5 years before they figured out the surgery to fix my shoulders, both of my shoulders. And so I know what it's like not to be able to use either arm. Both of my shoulders were damaged. Smoked salmon. Kim, I found a new love. Clam chowder. I'd never had it before I came up here, and now I'm addicted. I think I'm gonna go buy like a case of clam chowder, canned, and I'm gonna eat it till I get sick of it so I quit craving it. I'd had oyster stew. Nah, I'm not gonna eat clams either, but clam chowder, there's something about it. Bye, Gina. Leave us a link to your channel on the reruns, replays. Oh yeah, the wildflowers in the high mountains. If you saw my video, Is This Heaven? That was 8,500 feet at Eagle's Nest Lake. Yes, Eagle's Nest Lake. The flowers were it was just unreal. You had to be there. Had to be there. Yeah, it's this bone here is the humerus. I think, right. Yeah, this is the ulna and the radius down here, and that's the humerus. And not funny if you bump it. Wanted to spend the summer in Colorado. Yes, there's some nice cool nights on the mountains in Colorado. The East Coast doesn't have a lot of really nice high mountains for temperature, but every 1,000 feet is 3.5 degrees cooler when you go up in elevation. Well, guys, you know what? How time flies. We've been on here nearly an hour and a half. I can't believe it. And me just talking away. I wish we could make this a two-way conversation. Anybody want to talk more about meetups? Any questions about meetups in general, rolling meetups, or anything else in van life? Year and a half it's been for me full time. Full time. Amazing. Every day of it. Amazing. Are they good and bad days? Oh, yes. And am I trying to convince you to do van life? No. Don't do it if you don't want to. But for me, I cannot imagine being sentenced to a box with no wheels. You hear it called sticks and bricks. To me, it's a box with no wheels. I don't care how fancy it is. It's upkeep. In fact, somebody said recently, not only are you paying for the house, but half the stuff in the house is for the house. When you think about it, the tools and the lawnmowers and the vacuum cleaners and this, that, and all you see people working on the house and working on the house and I got this project and that. Well, that's a great hobby if that's what you're into, but my hobby is mountains and big trees and rocks and oceans and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we could do a Zoom. I don't know exactly how that would work. I used to use it when I was working, and I did set them up sometimes, so I'm not too up on that though. Once I left the job, everything's gone. I don't need it anymore, but I could learn. Um, Kim Wolf, if you get a chance to Stowe, Vermont, stop in Morning Movement Coffee. It's owned by Nomadic Movement. It's the best cup of coffee I ever had. I'm not a huge coffee drinker, but I do drink it. You won't ever see a coffee montage on my channel. Maybe a Zip Fizz montage. Zip Fizz, that's my coffee. Um, yeah, Susan is downsizing now. Yeah. Um, that got easier and easier for me when I was downsizing. I didn't have just my stuff. My mom had been living with me, and when she went into a long-term care, we had both of our stuff. So you let family choose what they want to choose, and then I didn't have time to sell stuff. I mostly gave it away. I didn't want to throw it away. I recycled, donate, and it got easier and easier and easier. Then after a while, it's just like every pound you give away is a pound off your shoulders. You feel lighter. Yep, Facebook has rooms. That's an interesting concept. I know there's more to that. I'll have to look into that. Thanks for that suggestion. Um, Highly recommended Abel's Lobster in Maine. Eat outside with Coco. Yeah, I was there last September. Wonder what town that's in. Abel's Lobster. There's a lot of lobster places around for sure. I'm gonna have. I'm gonna show. I'm not showing my lobster in the next video have coming out. Um, I have a little bit of a ick factor on that. On doing the whole lobster. Love lobster roll. Um, I think the first lobster I had here in Maine, unfortunately, was just a little bit overcooked. It was still good though. Could have been better. Let me know where Abel's is. Yard work in 90 degrees and above is not fun at all. No. Bye, Cheryl. I think we are going to have to cut it off as I started to say and got squirreled. Yep. Sounds easy, but yeah. What do you mean, the downsizing, right? Zoom can be 40 minutes for free. That sounds interesting. Yes, family can sometimes want you to be in a box with no wheels. They can find you. My family's gotten used to it. They are supportive now. And I don't blame them for being worried. That's because they care. An auction house, that's a good thought. Consignment. Yeah, donate. Or recycle. Don't just throw it away. Try your best to recycle too. Gift stuff forward, yep. We're going to Burlington, Vermont area. I don't know how much time I'll be spending in Vermont. I mean, that could change at any moment. Tomorrow, you never know. But right now, I mean, there are no Cracker Barrels in Vermont. That's the first thing I look for is, wherever you go, you're going to have a place to stay the night. I don't care what it is. I mean, if you weren't doing van life, but you were traveling in any which way, you'd have to find, hotels or something or a friend's house. So um, that's always a consideration. Okay, everybody, is it okay to say goodbye now? I don't want to leave. If you have any other questions or suggestions or ideas, be glad to answer. Yeah, money. I would have been better off if I had sold things, but as people who have traveled with me or been around me know, I spent money I didn't have to spend. I mean, sometimes even in the house, things wear out, or you just want something different. It's not just van life. But the old advice about taking as little as you can, there are stores. I guarantee you there are stores. You don't have to have 15 gallons of water unless you're going to be boondocking for 2 weeks in the, I probably need more than that if you're in the desert. But if you're traveling, you don't have to carry a lot of water. Acadia. Okay, guys, I'm going to say goodbye for now. I'm so happy that you joined me on this live chat. I enjoy, I should really do this more often because I really enjoy talking to you and seeing your comments. And let's see. I really enjoy our chats. I really should do it more often. I just don't want to do it, just come on with nothing in particular to talk about. But if you leave in comments something you'd like to have a live about, you know, a discussion, or on the Facebook page, if there's something in particular you want to discuss, I'm always open for it. And you know what my email address is. I already gave that. So, guys, thank you for the live chat. Everybody stay safe. See you at a meetup, I hope. And let's stay in touch. Okay, I'm going to attempt to turn this thing off now without being too embarrassing. But it's me, so you know. Okay, bye. See you next time.